Some of the inside positions, position battles, particularly left guard, center, right guard. How do you see that kind of materializing the next few weeks?
It's going to be interesting battles. We're early stages still right now from a physicality standpoint of having shoulder pads on and all that stuff. Assignment wise, a lot of those guys between McKenzie Nora, Michael Kadick, Dylan Powell, and Tim Weaver and Brett Beery. Assignment wise, everything's been good, but yesterday was the first day that we were able to actually have shoulder pads on, and moving forward here, starting tomorrow, Saturday, and then next week will be the kind of the tail of the tape with those position battles. But the awesome thing is there's great competition, and the guys know that there's a sense of urgency for themselves to see who's gonna who's gonna come out on top.
All right, John, and then Peaks.
So I guess we've asked this question to different coaches, just in terms of the progression this preseason, in terms of ramping up for the season, how difficult has it been on the offensive line in particular when you're trying to build chemistry with a unit, obviously supposed to be social distance as much as possible and not even having close contact or, having pads on until now? I mean, how much has there been a challenge in building that?
Well,
chemistry?
I don't think there's been any issue with the hard part is we've been able to be out and we've been able to be meetings and we've been able to work together. They've worked as units. The hard part is the physicality portion of playing offensive line, and when you're doing things from real football with shoulder pads and helmets and all of that stuff, running those combination blocks, whether double teams or zone combinations or whatever that they are, from the physical standpoint and just matching up and doing the things, that's been the hard part. And so it's going to be, like I said, these next 7 practices, which will get us through the end of next weekend, or to the end of next week, will be very critical, because then we'll be 2 weeks from game time. And at that point there will be having to be some decisions that'll be made. But I think it's been good. The kids, they know what to do right now, which is we've been, with COVID, it seems like we've been meeting and doing a lot of things forever. So I have a good feel for what their knowledge base is, but it's just the unity of working those blocks together, that we haven't had as much time and repetition with.
All right, Peaks and Tom Brew.
Coach, I was wondering how your 2 California JUCOs are doing, specifically also with Luke Haggard at 275. Is he going to be big enough to play in the Big Ten this year? And Chris Badbury, is he going to be a guard, tackle, or where does he kind of fit in?
Yeah. So both of those guys are playing tackle right now, and they're both doing a really good job. Haggard's been here longer, definitely is ahead in that realm. And yes, Haggard is, again, I don't know if he's 275. I know he may be somewhere in the 280 range now, and he's just getting bigger and bigger every day. And he's doing a really nice job. So he'll be on the football field for us this year. Bradbury, he was a guy that got here a little bit later, and he's doing a nice job. He's still, the good thing is he's a 3. He was a original redshirt kid at San Jose State, and then was 2 years in junior college. So, just from that perspective, he's a little bit older and those things, but he's still got a ways to go from knowledge base and just a physicality standpoint. But again, like, I always go back, it's just going to be the next 7 practices. But both of those guys, they understand football. I would say Haggard's ahead in the game right now. And, Haggard will be a guy that'll be playing for us. Whereas Bradbury, again, he's just got to keep coming along, and hopefully we can get him ready.
All right, Tom, and then Stefan.
Hey, Coach, good to see you.
Great seeing you.
Yesterday, Nick Sheridan was pointing out a few of the new guys who's been kind of catching people's eyes, and obviously your group's probably got more change than anybody's, since last year. I know you just kind of touched on a few of the guys there, but maybe like some of the freshmen and Nick brought up Brady Feeney's name too. Can you give us a little bit more of what you've seen and what you like so far about that group?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the freshmen. It was a big class. Randy Holtz, Khalil Benson, Brady Feeney, Cam Knight, Luke Wiggington. 5 freshman offensive linemen. I'm excited about all those guys. All of them have some challenges and things that that are pluses and minuses about all of them. But it's been just if I kind of go through individually each one of those guys, Cameron Knight. It's eerie how much his mannerisms and all those things are like his brother. He's just not quite as big right now, so he's got to continue to gain weight. And but football wise, he understands football, very quick, very strong for a guy that's at his weight right now. We got to get pounds on him, and he's doing a nice job snapping the football. The saving grace for him was as a center was his senior year in high school. He got to move to the play center, and I think that's paying dividends for him right now because it's not foreign to him having to snap the football and then execute an assignment after that. So it's been really good. Khalil Benson is a guy that is really got some quick twitch to him. He's going to be a guy that will have an opportunity here early on to this season to hopefully get some reps and get a little game experience under his belt. He's got some football, just football IQ stuff. The game was a little simpler for him in high school than it is here, and he's having to adjust, to the speed of the game a little bit from a mental standpoint. Randy Holtz is a big, powerful human being. Super excited about him. He's a guy that he's got to just be a little quicker in some of the things that he does. Brady Feeney it reminds me body wise, and again, he's not there yet. Don't let's not get it wrong, but he reminds me body wise of a Wes Martin type of build, and he's a very powerful guy. But again, he's just a guy that it's just got to continue to get better and all that stuff, and he's going to do some things. And then Luke Wiggington, Luke, the biggest thing that Luke that lacks is just strength. And he was a mid-year guy that we tried to get in here because and he wanted to be in the weight room and all that. And then obviously we got shut down, and it just is not the same. I mean, kid works his butt off, but he's just gonna the dividends are going to be paid for him when he can get stronger in the weight room. But he's doing a nice job, and he's playing tackle for us. So excited about all 5 of those guys.
And one just to clarify real quick, if you don't mind, Jeff, Brady Feeney is back practicing full go now?
Oh, yes, sir.
Go ahead, Stefan, and then John, last one.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned a little bit there some of those freshmen coming in. I mean, how much does a guy like Matthew Bedford help, based on the experience he had in terms of what he can tell them in this early adjustment? Yeah,
it's huge. I just with the experience thing, I go back to 2017 when the first year that I got here. I got here and it's kind of crazy, but we didn't have a senior in the offensive line room, and I've never been on any football team where there wasn't at least one senior in the offensive line room. So when you have the sheer numbers that we have because of the position, and then you don't have any seniors. So we do have some seniors, and I do feel good. But I kind of like in this season, kind of back to the 2017 season, where I think we've got some talent in the room, and we've got some kids that work extremely hard and are very motivated and all those things. It's going to be a matter of them being able to go out there and perform when it's live bullets on the football field. And having a guy like Matt Bedford that was the same way last year. We knew he was a talented kid, and we weren't sure if he was going to play, not play. It wasn't a physical point with him. It was just a mental standpoint with him. And he was forced into action, and I say forced, but we got to the point where we said, look, we got to put this kid on the football field. And there was some growing pains last year as a freshman, but he did a lot of really good things. So for him just to share that experience with these young guys and talking, he's doing a great job of, just really communicating to these guys and talking to them and sharing. and trying to get them to be locked in and all that stuff. It's really all of the guys have really taken these guys under their wing and all that stuff. So it's been really nice.
All right, John, go ahead.
We've talked about Harry Kreider before, just a naturally quiet guy, but someone who you kind of taught to speak a little bit more and kind of communicate. I mean, how has he handled the center role thus far, and how much do you think he can be a quarterback for the offensive line?
Yeah, no, Harry's awesome. You know, he's a lot in the same. He's probably actually a little quieter than Wes, but a lot in the same as Wes Martin. I mean, he's very steady, knows what to do, leads by example and all that stuff. But he's doing a nice job of opening up a little bit, because at that position he has to. I mean, everything kind of starts with him, and you know, he kind of gets the ball rolling with what we're doing, and just at that possession naturally. But he's gone beyond that. You know, he's speaking up and he's talking to these guys, and you know, he's not as helpful with the young guys as, say, a Matt Bedford is, or Caleb Holtz is, because those guys have different personalities. But the great thing is I just can put the film on and I say, hey, you young guys, if you want to see how to do it, just watch Harry Kreider. You know, and so it's more, you know, Harry's not going to ever give him a rah-rah or anything like that, but he's been really good, and he's a very consistent football player, and excited to have him again.